Today we're at my secret bug out cabin in the woods, um, 3 or 4 miles from the nearest paved road, um, several miles from the nearest even county road. Uh, and I'm going to give you a tour. I haven't been here in a few months. Haven't really spent a lot of time here in the last few years. Um, so we've kind of fallen into some disrepair and it needs work. And I'm thinking that could be a good project and a good project to film. But I'm going to give you a little bit of history here while people uh, join in. Um, about 12 years ago, I bought this property, and it had a couple of old trailers on it, and I got rid of the trailers. They were full of rats, and one of the trailers had a roof over it, and I took that roof and built a cabin under it. Did most of the work myself. Had a little bit of help from friends, mostly myself. Um, Everything in it came from either Habitat for Humanity, Home Depot, um, just a lot of like recycled stuff, a lot of stuff from Habitat, a lot of the windows. Lumber Liquidators, I got flooring for 99 cents a square foot. And I would drive out here from Portland and, uh, and work on it on the weekends. So you're going to get a tour of the outside and the inside. A second there. It's like, this is like totally off grid. And let's see how many people we got watching here. This is totally off grid. It is, I'm using Starlink Mini for Wi-Fi. So let's walk around a little bit. And there's the Starlink Mini. And I'm running off the back of my truck because I screwed up and forgot to bring the connector for the battery. And this is the cabin. It's not like one of those, LL Bean Northwoods cabins that looks all, fancy and made from logs and everything. There used to be a deck here when I bought it, and it was all rotted out, so I tore it out. Um, but that's the original roof, and that's the cabin. We'll go inside, but I'm going to walk around a little bit so you can see like the property here. I mean, there is nobody here. You could run around naked. I know. You didn't want that image, did you? It needs work. That tree came down this winter. There is a power line here. It's not turned down here. I've got a little outhouse. The roof blew off. That needs to be fixed. Not sure if the Wi-Fi will go that far, so I'm not going to walk too far away. So this is about as far away and as different as you can get from the craziness down at ICE. This double life, living in the city and having this little getaway. I haven't gotten away much. A lot of big boulders here. We are actually on the edge of a large ravine. Well, I bought this 12 years ago when land was a lot cheaper. A lot has changed since then. But I was thinking at the time, I want a place where I can pay for it. And I had to scrape together every penny I had to get the land. And I was like, I want a place where I can pay for it and own it, and I will never be living on the streets. I'll never be homeless. Because I can always come here and make a go of it if I had to. So let's go inside and I'll show you what the inside looks like. Now it's not finished. The floor's made out of oak. Countertops there. Now these walls, everything on these walls is cedar. And I got this cedar by going around the city when people were getting rid of a fence. And they would run an ad on Craigslist like they just wanted to get rid of their fencing. And I would take my truck over and pick up the cedar and clean it up, cut off the rotten ends and clean it up. I built like a bed platform here. And put a mattress, sleeping bag. There's some of the left paneling. See, there's a lot of spider webs. This needs a lot of work. And then I stained the to make some kind of pretty paneling. This door I got this door from Habitat. This door also came from Habitat. I mean, some kind of ants or bugs have been eating the foam inside the door. I used to have, let's go back outside. I used to have a rainwater collection system, and that's what these guys are for. But it just, if you're not here all the time, it doesn't work. All kinds of really bad stuff happened, like the gutters would fill up with pine needles. One time I had squirrels crawl inside the tank and die in there, and that was kind of gross getting those squirrels out. But I had 3,000 gallons of storage, so I could store like an awful lot of rainwater. And I was using these totes like this, and there's still like a little tiny bit of a right there. That's like what's left right here. And this was here when I bought the place, and it was full of rats. It's probably full of rats again. No, it's not too bad. It had like 3-4 inches of rat shit in it. And I thought someday I'd put a floor in it. Because right now it's just like a dirt floor. And this I built. I'm not a carpenter, all right? But I built this just to put firewood in. And that little wood stove in there will keep the whole place warm. Some of this is junk that the former owners left here. This here's the property line. I thought it was further back. And I found out where it was, and I had a buddy with an excavator come up, and we moved a lot of these boulders to kind of mark the property line. But technology is amazing. Look at this. This little Starlink got me connected to some satellite in space, so I can be out here in the middle of nowhere and stream. Like, who would have thought? Let's go back inside. This is the coolest little stove. I don't know if you can help, but there's like a miner, like a gold miner on the side there. Let me see if I can lower the camera down, give you a view of this. Got this gold miner is panning gold. And then I built a ladder. Now there was no ceiling in here too. I built this ceiling, and which is the floor for upstairs. Let's just put this up here. Let's see. So there's a sleeping loft, and I've slept up there. I kind of like sleeping up there. That's kind of fun. I thought I had a broom here. I was going to start wiring the thing for power. That's what these cables are for. And yeah, I thought I had a broom. I must have. I'm gonna have to make a list of all the stuff I have to do. I still need to finish like this wood here. You see, it's still open there. And then I put like what's behind that is I put all this closed cell foam to try and provide some kind of insulation because it gets cold up here. I'm at several thousand feet elevation. Shop lights. Yeah, I haven't been here in a while. I was going to sweep up. At least critters living in here. That's good. All right, so now I know what I got to do. I got to come back with oh, here it is. The room is right by the door. All right. Now the plans, I want to put a porch on here. That's one of the things I'd like to do. Put like a nice porch so I could sit out on the porch and have a cover overhead. There's bear up here, deer, cougar. Is this deadbolt here. Stuff off. Whatever. Ants or some kind of critter likes the foam inside this door and eats the foam and leaves. If somebody in the chat knows what's going on, explain that. And then look at all this white dust here. I've slept up here overnight quite a few times. So we get some of these cobwebs off of there. The whole wall. Look at this. I figure if I get to working on this again, like if I actually retire, I could use this and I don't know if anybody find it interesting. But I think it's a lot more rewarding than filming people saying fuck ice. you know, but, there weren't a lot of people last night. That was a Friday night. And both Vinny and Darren were there. They had 2 DJs. And I thought, looked like they were playing some kind of maybe a party or something. And we saw, Pantifa dancing. And there was some other woman dancing that looked like taking dance lessons from Elaine. If you're a Seinfeld fan, you know what I'm talking about. There's a famous Seinfeld where Elaine dances and she's doing this kind of, and everybody's like horrified because like this really crazy moment. And people are like, oh my God, I can't unsee that. So let me show what this is over here. This is crazy white powder. It's all over everything. Look at this crap. You see this? I have no idea what this is. And what we got to do is I thought about renting this out because it's kind of like a hunting cabin. And there's plenty of game around here, plenty of deer, blacktail, wild turkey. And no, I'm not going to tell you where it is. This is because then it wouldn't be secret, would it? It's not a secret cabin if you tell everybody where it is. Even the government doesn't know that it's here because I built it without any permits, and the satellites can't see it because of the trees. So it really is pretty secret. Like as far as taxing authorities go, it doesn't exist, which is how I like it. And they don't come up here. It's a little better. It's cobwebs on the windows. Oh, we're going to stop back up here. This is a bit too much. Now in this room, this being the bedroom, I did something slightly different. With whoa. Let's bring the right here. I did a different ceiling. So this ceiling is, I forget what I used there. But this one, I used this Tone and Groove stuff from Home Depot. I splurged a little, and that's all old cedar there above the window. And again, that wall there, that's cedar that I reclaimed from people in the city who were getting rid of a fence. You know, I tried to do as much repurposing and recycling as I could. But it doesn't leak. These floors still look real good. Hope the sound is okay. I didn't set up an external mic today, figuring I didn't have a whole lot of background noise to deal with. I didn't have, you know, the pleasure of people doing their chants and all. So we gotta get this cleaned up here. I bring the chop saw here and finish the siding. That COVID mask, like literally, that was probably left from the COVID bullshit. Yeah, I was looking for that little paintbrush that I had. That was good for putting stuff in the dustpan. It's just a rough clean. It's guy clean. It's not bro clean. Okay. Now let's see if we can go down to the outhouse and not lose the signal. But first, I probably shouldn't be ignoring the chat. So we'll see who's here today. Hey, Wolfgang. No, I don't have to worry about intruders here. Oh, great. So I just doxed myself to the government with my Starlink. Lovely. Hey, monkey. Hey, DLP. No, the cedar is so old, doesn't have any smell anymore. All right, so well, let's go see if the Starlink will reach this far, and we'll go down to the damaged outhouse. Damn, that powder. I shouldn't be breathing that in. So this one, it has no door because, like, really, who's going to see? So I just left it open. And the wind ripped the roof off there. Probably need another 8-foot panel on there. But I brought some short pieces that I had left over from another project. So, yep, that's the outhouse. Let's go back up. So there is power here, but it's not connected, so you can see. But I could have power if I wanted. So this big picture window came from Habitat, like 35 bucks. About the same for this one here. That Habitat in Beaverton, that was my go-to. And that one I actually sprung for, shouldn't have, but I bought that from Home Depot. And then this little guy here, just kind of an old school window that the place isn't even really locked. These windows, though, they're not as good. They're not as thick, not as good for insulation. This door needs a good sanding and a new coat of everything. And this little window here swings out. And you can put a stick there, and I don't get a lot of bugs here. No mosquitoes. Get some bees. Yellow jackets can be a pain in the ass during the middle summer. If you're eating, they'll come around, and all. All right. It's good to see everything is. I don't have homeless people living in it, squatters, anything like that. Where's the TP? Actually, it's in a can in here. Be a can somewhere of TP in here. There's a roll right there. We are prepared. And look, rats haven't even gotten into that. That's really a good sign. It means I took care of the rat problem. Lot of cleanup to do. These pieces here, these are all pre-cut. They should up in here. Let's see if they actually will. Yeah, they're gonna need another piece of flooring in there, maybe rip something. I don't think a full 6, really 5.5 inches would fit. Unless I can get longer piece, then I gotta come up here with a nail gun. So that makes it a whole lot easier. And it's gotta be careful with cedar, it splits pretty easy. But yeah, I could do that. All righty. Climb up and take a look around up here and see what's going on up in the loft. Oh man, there's all kinds of crap on the floor up here. It's like an old pump I left up there. Oh, and I got a light down there at the end. Okay. Yeah, I haven't been up here in a while. Yeah, I got to get out here with the shop vac. That'd be the best way, and a mask so I don't get that hantavirus. Like, what do you all think about that? Is like that going to be like a plague or something? And it's a little. It's a little scary that they're taking cautions that they're taking with these cruise ship passengers. Like they got them inside like these, boy in a bubble things. Like what the hell? I thought that was not transmissible human to human, and now it's looking like yeah, maybe it is. Maybe it's mutated. Maybe it's mutated, and oh shit, 35% mortality rate. That would be really bad. Like I'd be up here. I'd be up here with like a year's worth of preps. Like avoid everybody. See what the chat says. They're trying to scare us again. What's Lesnoy? Hey, Chris Hadadade. Yeah, no zombies here. If you're just joining, I'll do another sweep of the cabin. I was gonna put like actual nice countertops on here. Haven't done that yet. It's pretty basic. Um, I just got so damn busy with so many other things, and it's a lot of travel to get up here. So plus in winter, forget about it. Winter, it's a private road, and my neighbors um, plow it and plow in the driveway because they know like that I'm not here and they don't give a shit anyway. So they just, I'll come up here and there'll be like 5 foot mound of snow at the end of the driveway, such as it is. So let's take a look at the quote unquote driveway. It's not a driveway. I'll take a look at it. Yeah, that's it. And there's a bit of a turnaround because I can come in this way. That's the way out right there. And can also go this way. And it's pretty clear to go down that way. I could put if I was ever going to build a house here, like I have the money, which that would be a great site for a home. Is this polycarb or PVC? Oh, that hasn't cracked that bad. I might actually be able to put that up on that outhouse in a pinch. So I've also done the toilet seat and Home Depot bucket when I first was up here working on it and didn't have an outhouse. I'm using my truck for power for the Wi-Fi because somehow I forgot to bring the connector that connects to the Starlink Mini, which was a dumb move. In fact, I'm not even sure where it is. So, yeah, you know what it costs, James, to bring gravel up here? Because I had gravel brought here. It was like, and this was 10 years ago. I think it was over $300 to get a truck up here with like 10, 11 yards, and like a third of that was just for the transport. That's right, Chris. I don't need an outhouse. But if I want to bring a woman up here, probably do. But it's a nice outhouse. It's open on the front, so no smell, right? No stink. All right, everybody. Well, thank you for watching. I'm going to end the stream. Really appreciate all the chat and helpful comments, such as they were. And hopefully we'll be able to come back here and get some interesting stuff done. Today was kind of like a little bit of recon. Not me sitting on the toilet at 3. I'm watching Big. Yeah. No, I'm not going down there. And there's freaking cougar and bear all over up here. I'm staying inside. She can't hover. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it would be nice to turn this into a sugar shack instead of a bug out cabin. But I'd have to make an awful lot of improvements. That's for sure. It's, yeah. No, I'm kidding. I've had girlfriends up here. You know, it's a test, right? Let's see. I got a little bit more to do here. I really should put my drop back and my big lithium ion battery. This door I'd like to replace or paint or something. It's ugly. And also like critters keep eating whatever's inside it for insulation. So it probably isn't providing very good insulation anymore because critters ate it all. Honestly, I have no idea how interesting this is, but it's got to be better than Spider Mike's hummingbird feeder, maybe, or watching Pantifa dance. Not that those are your only choices, but that's what I was watching last night. I was watching Unfiltered and Raw. That guy's funny, by the way. I like watching it. He keeps the band going, and never runs out of stuff to say. And keeps it entertaining. I don't know where he is, but he's not in Portland. I knew he wasn't in Portland, but last night the bus goes by and on the front it says Tacoma, and he's like, "What? That bus is going all the way to Tacoma?" I'm like, "No, dude, that's Tacoma Street in Selwood." Uh, that's where that bus, maybe that like not making the entire run all the way to Lake Dover or something. All right, well, now I've doxed my secret cabin to the government through my Starlink. I mean, honestly, would it really make much difference in my property taxes? It probably wouldn't. The county doesn't give a shit, that's for sure. They don't care. I've seen people build houses without like entire houses. You know, the bank won't finance them, but tax assessor told me one day, We don't talk to building and planning, we just raise your taxes. Right. That's a little better. See if there's anything in the stove. Any ashes or, yeah, there's a little bit of ashes in there. Ah, that's a great little stove. That'll keep this whole place warm. Total square footage in here is about 300. It's about 11 feet wide and like 28 long, 28 or 30 long. I guess that concludes the tour of the NTK Bug Out Cabin. Thank you for watching, and hope we can come back here again sometime soon.